We are going live in 3, 2, 1, boom. Hi everyone, it's Friday and today we have a special guest to show you. Who's this girl? Hey, who's that? Who's that? Oh, hello. This is my dog who sadly doesn't come with me on the jobs, but she was desperate to say hello, so I thought I'd just get her to say hello. So, do you want to say hello? Maybe not. She's famous. So, right, I'm just going to get her out. So, go on, girl. So, there she goes. So, that's your first introduction. That's my dog. There we go. Right, so let's get to it. So, right, it's Friday. It's the end of the working week. So, sending you all the love and positive vibes and all the good energy for this week. It's been a long week this week. So, I'm looking forward to going in after this video and taking my bra off and throwing it down. Apparently that's quite a good feeling. So I'm told. So let's try it. Not that I wear bras, of course. Anyway, we're going to show you all in pictures on our lovely pink iPad exactly what we've been up to this week and go into the details of what we've been doing. And you know, it occurred to me, I've had several requests from you, the people, wanting a day in the life of a plumber. Well, I've realised that every week we sit here and we talk about what we've been up to this week. So and none of it's made up. This is real life, raw plumbing, which we go through. So I'm going to show you on the iPad shortly. And yeah, I'm interested to know about what you'd like me to talk about on these Friday live chats. You know, would you like to know how to run a business? Would you like to know the pressures of it, the emotion behind it, staff, customers, suppliers? There's so much things we could go into and in depth about. And I know a lot of popular YouTube plumbers talk about like, mental health. Obviously, it's very serious, which seems to be very popular at the moment. So we could talk about that if you wanted to. I'm all ears, quite happy to talk about that. So message me if you like, and we can start the ball rolling on that. We have had loads of comments this week, which is excellent. All just saying thank you, really. Great video and lots of general positivity. So thank you for all those that commented. But this week, this week's top comment goes to, let me just give me 1 sec just to load this up. This week's top comment goes to Daniela Dillon. Shout out to Daniela Dillon. Now she's put, great video, easy to follow, saved me £600. So very happy and warm with loads of dancing emojis. Now you could send some of that 600 quid my way, you know, just saying. But I'm brilliant. I'm glad it worked out. Also, whilst we're on it, Jack Davidson, he's put awesome video, straight to the point. Allowed me to fix my radiators easily. Was nervous about going anywhere near the boiler after watching this. It's so simple to drain and refill. Awesome, high five to that. David Holloway, thanks so much for this, Nick. Drained down, changed 2 TRVs and refilled without any issues. Much obliged to you for taking the time to post this. No problem, love it, glad it helps out. What do we have next? So now, so what have we been up to this week? Well, last week we showed you all about this horrible aluminium stud work which we ran into on a bathroom, and it is horrible. You can see we've put all the 3x2 timber in there to strengthen it. Then next picture, this is what we've done this week. It's quite a transformation from that to that. Obviously it's still not finished, but we're making good progress on it. So what have we done there? So we boarded all the walls, we fitted the shower tray, tiled, started fitting the fitted furniture, fitted the worktop, which was absolutely rock hard, may I add, but it does look really good. Good quality stuff. We've painted the new plasterwork, ply lined the floor, ready for the flooring, which is Carndine flooring for those of you that are interested. So generally great progress on that. Next picture, well, it's my van on the intercom. Pretty irrelevant, but I thought it was pretty cool, so yeah. and we are still working at the job with the crocodile in the bath in the other bathroom, which is always a bit of a fright. There's a close-up to you, worth a shout out because you don't see that every day. Next, I'll let you look at that whilst I try and find my notes. Looks like a pipe to me, but what is that pipe? That is the question. So we had an asbestos pipe, saw pipe removed. Very easy to tell if it's asbestos because you get a magnet. If it's cast iron, it will stick to it. But if it's not cast iron and it's asbestos, it won't stick to it. Obviously, a magnet won't stick to plastic pipe, but if you've got a bit of an eye for it, they're pretty obvious what plastic is and either cast iron or asbestos. So magnet does the trick. So we got an asbestos company in because we definitely don't want to be moving any of that in. And yeah, they removed it. So we've gone from the clay pipe, which was in under the floor, so the asbestos pipe went into clay, with this fitting just here to our new plastic. And that is a clay to plastic adapter, saw pipe adapter by McAlpine. Brilliant bit of kit. So if you're ever stuck, ever get into that problem, that's what you got to do. And this bathroom we are starting in a couple of weeks, so I wanted to get that job ticked off the list. Next picture is okay. So we underfloor heating just there, a wet system that is. It wasn't working properly, so we got our thermal imaging camera on it. So that is that, just like so, which is pretty cool. You can see the pipes down there were red hot, but if you look closely, a couple of the other pipes, that middle one between the two hot ones and ones at the back, were getting hot and the others weren't. So that said to me there's a bit of a blockage. So on the top here, which is sadly out of picture, dull, almost like radiator thermostats, you know, the bits you turn, and there's like little pins. Now those pins generally get blocked, stuck, so they don't operate properly. So I hoped that they were in a off position. So we give them a little wiggle, push them up and down, and sure enough, they were stuck. So what happened then was that red hot within seconds. We had the boiler running so I could see this, which was great. However, I noticed the pipes at the back, even though, you know, it takes a bit of time to heat up and the return pipe to circulate heat, I noticed they weren't getting hot. So I was slightly worried that we had a blockage under the floor somewhere. But before I went down that route, because you've got to trial and error these things, like an order of process, start with the simple stuff and then work your way to the more difficult. Before we did that, I got fooled. It fooled me pretty much, and we did that. And this here, that fuse there, even though that's a new one now, didn't get a before photo, was the problem. So basically there was no electrical supply, and because there was no electrical supply, the pump on the underfloor heating manifold wasn't working. And what was happening, the pump on the boiler was powerful enough to circulate some heat, but not enough, not sufficient enough. So that's why only half the floor was getting hot. Plus the blockages on the pins on the thermostats at the top was the issue. So we replaced it, and there we go. Customer tells me it's fine. Great. Also, actually, whilst we're on it, so the thermal imaging camera I've got is, I can't probably say the name of it, begins with F and ends in Lure. Really good bit of kit, really good bit of kit. The bit I've got, let me just, little box here, diddly dee, just clips to your phone. That's it. Oh, better cover that name just there, you know, better cover that one. So that clips to your phone. We'll put it in the phone, but I'm using it right now to video this. So that clips in, and it pretty much really good, gives you all these kind of images like so. And on the app, you download an app, and on the app you can scroll from, you can literally swipe your finger down it and then back up, takes you from that view to that. And it's so helpful. What I used to do before this technology came out is just put my hands on the pipe just to feel, and you can still do, these are expensive. This is like 400 or 500 quid, and that was a few years ago. Probably cheaper now, but hey ho. So you put your hand on the pipe just to feel the heat, and then you wait for the boiler to heat up, blah, 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 and then you put your hand on the other pipe, and the other pipe, you got to do it quite quick. Whereas this, you just do that, you take pictures and it tells you exactly what's going on. So that was really helpful. That's just for interest really. That was the actual underfloor heating in the kitchen, if I recall. And it just shows how they've looped it. And what that does, you can almost, you see this pipe here, that's red hot. Like that's really, really hot. Whereas the one next to it isn't as hot. And that sort of thing. So that what that tells me is that pipe, the red hot pipe, generally it might just be a little bit higher, a bit closer to the finished surface, and the rest are a bit lower. Or what I was looking for, and more importantly looking for, is if we've got one of these pipes, it's red hot, but then all of a sudden you've got like almost like it splurges out. That then tells me there's a hole in the pipe and the water is actually escaping, and well, then you've got to dig it up and there's a whole new different kettle of fish. Or what can happen is you've got a red pipe and then all of a sudden it just stops, but it's quite hot, not a pool around it, just very red in that end of that pipe. That then says to me that there's a blockage. And if there is a blockage, then what I would do then is, and I haven't scripted this, I'm winging it, so keep with me. What I would do then is I'll go back to the manifold. I'd undo one of these. This is obviously speed fit, old style speed fit. Undo that and the top one, connect a garden hose to it, say, and just force through mains pressure water, and that'll just shove out any blockage in there. If that doesn't work, then I'd add a chemical to the system. And if that doesn't work, we really are in a whole world of pain. Next up, what have we got? So, last job of the day, which was today. Typically, stereotypically, it was like about 4:30 when I got there for quick stop tap change. Got there and it was that. Can you believe that? Who plasters a stop tap in the wall like that? I mean, I get it, it's there so you just turn it, but what is that? Plasterers, are you for real? So, and needless to say, I just rescheduled that in for next week, and I spoke to the customer about it. What would you do with that? You know, what would you do? Come on, people. What would you do with that? Or how would you feel if you saw that on a Friday? So that was that. That was my week. Good week. Loads of progress. Really pleased with it. And that's it. So now it's time for our Friday song before we sign off for the week. So I say, bum bum, let me hear say Friday, Friday. I say, bum bum, let me hear say Friday. Have an amazing week, everybody. See you next week.